Welcome to whatever episode this is of the Nate Hate Show. We have a very, very special guest.
We're live?
Nigga, yes. It's probably gonna be edited until probably whenever it makes sense. Like, I don't know what you guys were saying. If it was funny, I'm gonna leave it in. If it wasn't,
Grant was saying some funny shit.
So this will probably be like 30 seconds into the podcast. We're just having fun. This is episode 19 of the Nate Hate Show. We have a very, very, very special guest. I've never used 3 varies. I usually use 1 vary.
At most.
At most, 1 vary. But this is a very, very, very special guest. Mr. Grant Anton. If you want, I can edit out your last name or your first name if you don't want us to use that.
I'll leave it in.
But this is Mr. Grant Anton. There's a couple of notable things about Grant. Grant is the funniest nigga I've ever met. Conversationally and through his actions. You guys are going to fucking love Grant. Mr. Grant Anton. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, Grant.
Mr. Grant Anton's my dad. No. Yeah, what's going on? I mean, back in Reno. You know, doing this podcast, the Nate Hate Show, right? I mean, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to take it on.
Dude, the first question I have for you, I'm going to skip your elementary school. I'm going to skip your middle school. What was your high school experience like? Like, let's go through your 9th grade. Whenever you first came into 9th grade, were you drinking? Were you smoking? Were you vaping? What were you doing?
I mean, I was always vaping. Honestly, like...
When did you start?
I first hit it was called e-cigarettes in middle school, right? Like, they'd had signs like, don't bring e-cigarettes to school. I'm like, what are e-cigarettes?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, bet. Like, you watch some stupid Asian guy on YouTube fucking doing and all those tricks, and like,
you're like, that's gonna be
you're like, when you're fucking... Dude, when you're in like the 7th grade, you think that's the coolest shit ever. You're like, what the fuck is that?
Nigga, it looks like a wizardry to a black person.
Like Harry Potter and all that shit. Like,
a black person.
Dude, I was like, I don't know. Like, I always thought it was cool. I thought it was lame. Like, that's like, I think vaping is so stupid. But like when you're like in middle school, that shit's hella cool. Like, you feel like you're the man. You know, you're walking around with
the
vape.
school put you on with the anti-vaping ads.
No, I know. Yeah, exactly. But I remember, no, dude, high school. I went to. I mean, we could take it back to elementary school or middle school because I did a middle school because I'm from Stockton, right?
So let's get down to it. How many elementary schools were there in Stockton?
So,
like, more than you can count?
There's like 12, probably. There's like roughly like 11 or 12, but I didn't even go to elementary school in Stockton. I went to kindergarten in Stockton, right? Which is, I went to the school called Mabel Barron, which is crazy. My grandpa actually started that school, right? He was like the superintendent in Stockton. Like, he started a couple schools in Stockton. And so, like, of course I went there, but, like, my mom didn't want me going to school in Stockton because, obviously, like, it's ghetto, and, like, she works in Galt, right? So I would go to school in Galt, and my grandma lives in Galt, and, like, there was always someone to watch me or pick me up because my grandma's in Galt. My grandma's also, she's
Is that on recording?
Yeah, that one is.
Okay.
She's Mexican, like, she doesn't even speak English. And so, like, it's also good for me to, like, talk to her, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really, my mom only speaks to me in Spanish, right? So, like,
But you don't speak Spanish according
to that Grant.
Girl.
Huh?
You don't speak Spanish according to that one chick. Right?
Oh, yeah.
The first time I heard Grant speak Spanish, he was just, like, on the phone with someone, and he just like picked it up and started speaking in Spanish. It blew my mind, nigga, because I'm half Mexican. I am half Mexican, and I don't speak a word. Well, I mean, I know like hola, but I don't speak like 10 words of Spanish. And Grant started speaking, and I was like,
well, Spanish was my first language, so I didn't even start learning English until I was about 4. Right?
So where were you born?
I was born in Stockton, born and raised.
But your mom wanted to teach you Spanish before English.
My mom wanted, because she only speaks to me in Spanish. To this day, she only speaks to me in Spanish. And when I was growing up, I wasn't even allowed to speak to her in English. Like, she wouldn't even let me. Like, she would pretend like she couldn't hear me. Like, she would also, like try to, like, she'd try to do some bullshit, like, like try to talk in broken English or something like that. Like when I would like talk to her and like just like
you're a Nigerian person,
yeah,
or
something
a
like
pirate.
drag on the conversation just to piss me off or whatever. And it's like and so like she only speaks to me in Spanish. It was like a big thing, and like also my grandma only speaks Spanish. So like, how am I going to talk to her if I don't speak Spanish, right?
Wait, hold up, real quick. This is weird. This is very weird. But my mom taught me a word in Spanish. And, well, I don't know if it was a word or 2 words. I feel like a faggot asking you to translate. But super sporty, can you tell me if I'm right or wrong? I think I remember it as super deportivo. As super sporty. Is that right or wrong?
What is super sporty?
Like, in Spanish, from English to Spanish, English, it's super deportivo.
Well, sports is... Deportivo, yeah, I mean, I guess that worked. Deportes is sports.
Are you Mexican Spanish, or are you like...
Yeah, Mexican, yeah.
Because also, you remember Lily Clark? Jake? Yeah. Lily told me one time that Colombian people, like she was saying that a Mexican corrected her on her grammar in Spanish, and she was disgusted.
Because she was like... different shit, yeah.
Not disgusted, but she was like, dude, Colombians out of Spanish, like grammar... are the best, and the Mexicans are one of the worst at Spanish grammar. And she was like, one of them correcting me is like embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is people don't understand is they take 4 years of Spanish in high school, right? But no one in Mexico talks like that.
Really?
No one speaks how they teach it. Like
you teach like Spain Spanish.
It's not even just Spain. It's not even just Spain Spanish. People in Spain don't even talk like that. You talk so formal. It's like it's all like you can tell
like
right
retarded.
away. You can tell right away, and you're never gonna get. It's just like what? It just sounds off, right? A lot of just like talking is like slang or like combining words, like it rolls off the tongue or whatever. Like in like the Spanish they teach you, it's like, dude, it's like, yeah, you kind of know how to speak Spanish, right? But you're really just translating the English into Spanish in your head and then just reading it off. You know what I'm saying? It's not like actually understanding and making like that neural pathway type beat, like going through to your head and like understanding the language. Like, see, my dad, he speaks, like, he can speak Spanish, right? He lived in Spain for a little bit, and like, but dude, it just sounds off. It just sounds like a white guy speaking Spanish. It just doesn't sound like you.
It doesn't flow in conversation with a normal person.
It sounds kind of like someone Mexican might just be like, okay, like just like it's like a tell. Like,
so it's like if an English dude came up to someone at like a bar and they were like, "I have worked out and done this today," and you're like,
"That's what I'm saying." Yeah,
that's proper. That is proper English, and I understand what you're saying.
No one talks like that.
But I don't connect with you through how you're saying it. I get what you're saying, but I don't connect with you. Like you seem like a robot, kind of.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's robotic. That's exactly that. That'd be a good word to describe it. And it's just like. It's just like they shouldn't be. You shouldn't be learning Spanish off a textbook.
I knew Spanish people. There was this dude named Miguel. I don't know if you ever knew him, Jake. I had him in a Spanish class. You probably won't ever see this, but Miguel played like soccer with me in our gym class and shit. And he worked at a Mexican restaurant called Mi Casa, where everyone went to go get fucking, what are those Mexican drinks called? The margaritas. Everyone went there to get the margaritas, and Miguel he had a B in Spanish. And I was like, Miguel, you speak perfect Spanish. How the fuck did you get a B? And he explained it exactly how you did. He was like, I mean, bro, like, I speak Spanish, but, like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, my teachers would get mad at me because they'd be like, what's the subjunctive of the preterite tense? And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. Like,
I don't know
tell
or
me
care.
Tell me the rest of the sentence, and I'll plug in the word. And they're like, well, how do you explain how you chose that word? Because it sounds right. Or how do you know how to say this grammatically? Like, explain why the words are the way, are put in the position they are. I can't tell you that. I just know when I read it off or I hear it, it sounds right. You know what I'm saying? It sounds correct. Like, that's how I know it's right. And so I could never explain myself to, like, you know what I'm saying? I can never explain why.
You know what it is, but you don't know why it is.
I don't know why. It's just, in my head, it's like an ear, like, that sounds correct. That doesn't sound grammatically incorrect. Doesn't sound like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you can tell.
Yeah, you could just tell.
Dude, there is this guy named, like, Xiaoma NYC on YouTube.
Love him. I watched recently his videos. Yeah, he just, like, dude,
shout out Owen for showing me that guy.
I had a lot of experiences like that where, like, people are, like, talking. They think you don't speak their language. But then like they find out you do, and they're like, what?
Wait, is that the
guy
white?
knows languages for real though? Like,
Is that the dude? Is that the white dude that goes like middle of China and like middle of Africa, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna order a dish in their language, dude."
Exactly, money,
I used to see those things all the time, and I would like watch them. I obviously don't speak Mandarin Chinese, but I would think they were so interesting because it was like, damn, dude, imagine if I saw a dude that was like a slanty-eyed fuck, so I'm gonna imagine he's Asian, but he was brown skin, and I'm like, I wonder what language he speaks, and then he comes up and in perfect English orders something. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe I would just imagine him as a mixed dude or something, but like, it would be insane to me, especially for Chinese.
Honestly, that wouldn't be insane to me at all. What do you mean? There's so many people that speak English.
Yeah, there are.
English is different.
Yeah, because like even if I saw that is true. If I was in another part of the world, let's say if I was in like Gabon, where Aubameyang
when I was a little kid, I remember going to Mexico and like seeing black guys speaking Spanish, like perfect Spanish, and I'm like, negros, like. Like I was like, what's going on? Like, I'd never seen that before, and like it's Stockton, like you know what I'm saying. Honestly, Stockton is like mostly black and like dark, like Southeast.
That's why there's so
Asian.
much crime there.
There's a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of crime. Yeah, but I mean, dude, there's so many. Like I feel like the people that really causes the crime are these Southeast Asian guys, like these Hmong,
Laotians. I've always said that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I had to cut you off. I've always said Laotians are my least favorite race. They're always causing crimes and getting laid off. It's just one of the people that the French bombed. Poor Laotians. We don't feel bad for them. But sorry about that. But Laotians are causing crime in South.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how it is. It's like whatever they are, like Thailand, like people from Thailand. Like it's all mixed, and you see a lot of people. You see is like Blasians. You see a lot of Blasians too. Like it's a lot of Mexican, like half Mexican, half Asian people. Like that's just like a common like Stockton like thug. You know what I'm saying?
Is that a whiskey Coke, mate?
Yes, sir. I
don't know
what's in that.
Whiskey and Coke. If you guys want to take a hit off that's more than welcome. Jakey, that's a requirement though for you. Grant, you can chill, but that's a requirement for you, nigga. But keep on going. You were talking about Southeast Asians.
No, yeah, like the Southeast Asians in Stockton, like, dude, it's like I would Stockton is about like 13% white, probably like 15% black, and then the rest is Mexican and like Southeast Asians.
That's an insane.
Yeah,
insane.
Mostly,
amount of
I think mostly Hispanic. Mostly Hispanic though. Yeah. Slightly.
Dude, because whenever I think of East Asians, whenever you think of Asia, a lot of people don't consider Russians in Asia, and Russia is in Asia. And if you look at like
most of it is
Vladivostok,
there's like Belarusians and stuff. There's a lot of different.
Vladivostok are just like frozen Korean people that speak Russian.
Yeah.
There's a city in South Russia. It's like if Russia is all
it's like southeast.
Like let's say this is Moscow, this is the Russian border, this is Finland. Vladivostok is like
over here.
It's like over here. It's like the city that's right on Manchuria in 1936 geography. And those are all Asian people that speak Russian. Like Kazakhstan.
Crazy.
It's insane. But most of Russia...
Siberians are just like Eskimos.
Most of those niggas are Asian looking. And then there's like some countries over there that kind of are like Middle Eastern. But most of East Asia is Asian. And then whenever you get to West Asia, that's the...
Gross.
That's the people that are blowing up our towers, our twin towers. And they're doing all the terrorism. I'm not going to say that it's on anybody specifically, but Afghanistan, I am looking at you. Iran, I'm looking at you. Sorry, Grant. But Stockton's, their color of people, it's like some whites, some blacks, mostly Asians.
Yeah, no, a lot of like Southeast Asians, like for sure. Like, I mean, they cover the parks like with their like cookouts and like food and stuff like that. Like every like Wednesday, like Thursday. But I mean, you get a lot of restaurants. Like you get like food, like a ton of different different types of restaurants, just like holes in the wall. But like they have gas food. Like I love like little Vietnamese like banh mi shops. Like I've been going to this place like Tan Tan's for like Tan Tan's is by my high school, and it's So like the sandwiches are $3, right? And it's a good size sandwich. So you get two, you're like you can eat like 1.5, you're full, and you got the rest for later or whatever. And but see, it's like $3, and what does that mean in Stockton? You know, like a bunch of homeless people are gonna be like, there's like literally people doing heroin outside that shit, like all the time.
Jeez.
Like it's $3 sandwiches, they're fucking huge. You know what I'm saying? The guy comes in, you ask, everyone gets the grilled pork, and then he gives you your money like this or your change, and then you just get like this bomb ass sandwich. Like when I think of the word sandwich, I think of like a banh mi, like that. That's just like. Such a like the way they just like cut the bread and like hollow it out like
what type of meat? What type of?
It's like grilled pork.
Grilled pork, and what do they throw a cheese on that?
No, I don't even think they do.
Is it sauces that make it taste so good?
There's like a sauce. Yeah, there's like a weird sauce to it.
Is it like a tangy? Is it like a?
No, I wouldn't say it's tangy. It's more like I would say like mayo based, but like some like balsamic type like shit or some shit. Like
so it's a little bit more oily than mayo.
A little oily, yeah. I would describe that.
Dude, that sounds fucking fire.
And they but like really like the star of the sandwich is like the bread. Like it's just got this perfect crunch to it. It's just like not too much.
It's toasted, but it's not hard. But it's toasted.
Yeah, but they hollow it out. Like they like it's like a sub.
Nigga,
like,
they cut out the inside of the fucking bread.
Yeah, but it just works, man. And they just fill the inside of that shit. They fill it.
They fill it.
Yeah.
What type of stuff?
You know what I'm saying? Like
lettuce, tomatoes, or like sauces?
I wouldn't say lettuce. Like probably like some Vietnamese shit. Like fucking
like duck.
Like like Vietnamese like leaves. Like not leaves, but fucking like some celery, sort of not celery, shit. Like parsley or some shit.
The most Vietnamese thing I can think of is losing a war to America, baby. But dude, that sandwich.
Did we really?
Okay. That's a good point. Okay, so by deaths, we won. We had a lot more people than they did.
Our war effort got politically sabotaged, and we had to pull out because of that. We were literally destroying them by the time we pulled out.
The problem with that is like, I mean, we didn't really know who we were fighting.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That is true.
So with your farmers,
with World War II,
with your rice farmers, like minding their own business, bro.
With World War II, when we joined, France had already capitulated because French are pussies and they quit very quickly. We don't blame them for it, but they are pussies. So we were trying to come onto French land and like do a naval invasion and get on there. We knew everybody that was already on land was German. That's yours.
Oh, that's mine? Oh,
yeah.
bad.
So we knew everybody that was on the land that we were landing on was German, and we knew our enemies. When we went to Vietnam, that was after World War II, we didn't know at all who we were fighting. Like, there was, like, grandmas, children that were fighting, because, like, it was two different political ideologies, communism versus non-communism. And some of those were democracy, some of them were a little more fascism. In the Vietnam front, it was actually, Ho Chi Minh actually really liked Harry Truman, the guy that dropped the atomic bomb on Japan. He actually really liked him. He's like, America has the best freedom in the world. They're awesome. We love them. But France had owned Vietnam before it was a country. But then after, like, Japan had taken over Vietnam and they'd gotten kicked out, it was Vietnam. But France was like, we're going to come back. And this is ours now. And the Vietnamese people were like, no, it's not. Like, we just fought off the Japanese because it was mainly them who were
fighting the French.
Yeah, and they were like, you're not getting this back. And the French came back, fought, lost bad. Then they were like, America, can you come in and save us and get this back, like our colony? And America stepped in, and we were like, we're going to fight them.
It wasn't even that, like, why we fucking pulled up. We just wanted to stop communism.
We really wanted to stop communism. After World War II, a lot of people don't know, me and Jake play a lot of Hearts of Iron. But the main thing, there were three major political ideologies. There were fascism, democracy, and communism. There was unaligned. Portugal was unaligned. They were like a king system.
I mean, that's just like fascism, but funnier and older.
Yeah, pretty much. But Germany was fascist. America and England and kind of France were democracy. Soviet Union was communism, and like
they were the only communism.
Everybody
Mao Zedong was getting his ball cheeks clapped by fucking the Kuomintang at that time.
but he had a lot of people, so they could die. But it was
He
basically
didn't at that time. They pulled off the most insane gamer maneuver, but we'll talk about that another time.
But fucking
Ooh, can I hit that after you? You'll sip.
fascism and democracy were the main two. It was pretty much Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Bulgaria. Well, I actually don't know about Bulgaria, but Hungary
All the
was.
pastiest fucks.
Yeah, some crazy Eastern European fucks. They were all on the same side versus democracy and communism. Dude, when Grant does the O,
Classic, right there.
blow one this way. But fucking, it was basically democracy versus fascism, and if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. But fucking. It was democracy versus fascism. Democracy ended up winning out, but we kind of wanted to keep on going all the way to Moscow and end those fucks.
Which general was it that said we should have just kept going and armed the Germans?
I said it was MacArthur, but Jimbo said it was actually someone else.
Was it Patton?
George Patton.
Dude, fun little fact about Patton. I lived like 10 minutes away from this town called Dusseldorf that my friend lived in, and there was an arch in that town that was like fucked up because Patton tried to drive his Sherman tank through it, and it was just not wide enough, and it got stuck.
And he was like, well, we gotta knock the arch down.
No, the arch is still there. They just like fucking broke some rocks off and backed him out.
So I want to know, Grant, if you were in like the World War II and put yourself in this position, you're right now Grant. Take yourself out of that.
I'm right now Grant, right?
But you're not Grant anymore.
Okay,
Let's
I'm
say
not.
You're a general that's like one of the top niggas in World War II. We're America. We weren't even in World War II. We're like, that's a European war. Japan bombs Pearl Harbor. We're in it. And now we're going to Europe. Let's say we're taking over Germany, and we know for a fact that we're about to take over Germany. How many survivors are you taking? Like, you know about the concentration camps and all the fucked up shit Germany did? Let's say you get the officers, or like the higher-ups of the German army. How many of them are you going to let survive? Like, let's say you get 1,000 of them.
Survive? I'd probably just run them through a concentration camp.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's the same thing for me. Is you gotta let the niggas that are higher ups die. You let other people die. What's the harm?
But by the time I get to them, they're already in Argentina. Like, it's over.
Yeah.
There's a Hearts of Iron game through where you can get a dude named Hilter as your leader, and it's only when Hitler has to run away from Germany. That's sorry about that. I didn't want to cut it off with some Hearts of Iron gameplay, but I did have to cut it off with some Hearts of Iron gameplay. But fucking, we'll go back to your high school.
Okay.
So 9th grade for your high school. How many people did you know? Like, was there a lot of people from your middle school that were in?
Fuck no, I knew absolutely.
You went to Lincoln?
No, I didn't. I went to St. Mary's. And there's like 3 feeder schools for my high school. Like, it's a private school, and I went to public school. So like nobody. I knew nobody. I did water polo like over the summer, right? So I knew some like water polo
Did
players.
you play with Hosmer?
Huh? Well, Hosmer's a grade below me, but he
Was he really good?
Oh yeah, I mean he was at one point when we were playing with him. I mean, playing with Hosmer is like playing on easy mode. He's the #1 scorer in the nation. That's what I'm saying. So he
That's crazy.
He scored more.
Seabass was telling. I'm sorry to cut you off, but Seabass was telling me the other day that they played like UCLA, and it was like a match that they lost in overtime. Hosmer scored a hat trick in the first 5 minutes.
dude, in high school,
goat.
Austin Hosmer, look him up if you want to see some great water polo. Austin Hosmer.
It's Austin.
Is that not his name?
It's Matthew Hosmer. Matthew Hosmer. But he, dude, Hosmer, I mean, no, he's something else. Like, it's like he's playing a different sport. I mean, he would win us some games in the first 2 minutes. Like, he would just win.
What position did you play in water polo?
I played 4-5 or 1-2 side. So I'd play mostly, like, on the wing, like, left or right. And also I played guard, which is the, like, it's like right in the middle, behind the center, whatever. And I would play guard.
So forgive me for asking, how many players are there on a water polo field or court? 9.
There's 6. Well, there's 6 and a goalie.
And there's so there's a goalie, and then there's 5 other players. Is there 3 defense, or is there 2 offense, or how does the formation work?
What do you mean? No. You're on offense. And
Everybody's on offense and defense?
Yeah, everyone's on offense and defense the whole time. I mean, when it's on the one side of the pool, it's like soccer. You know what I'm saying?
But soccer has
No, okay, it's not like soccer. It's like...
Basketball.
Yeah, it's like basketball. Yeah.
Everybody's everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And like... but water polo was great. I mean, I feel like I didn't get the like. I mean, we had a great water polo experience, but we just won. I mean, we won every game. Like, see, Hosmer's the top scorer in the nation. We're the best school around a bunch of schools that suck at water polo. Do you get what I'm saying? That don't have coaches from Australia
jumping up like a fucking dolphin and launching that bitch in the goal.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like Hosmer, you just put Hosmer in, you just. Like, they're trying to put two men on him. Like, Hosmer doesn't have to look at the ball or see it. He could swim completely underwater, and you just see the ball moving, and there's two guys on him, and he's dodging it with his mind somehow. Like, you can't even see the ball, and he's moving it. That'd be like if you're playing basketball, you got two guys on you, and you're blindfolded trying to get to the net. Like, he literally just knows, like, he knows he's going to outbeat him. Even if they grab it, he's got such a grip on the ball, like, they can't do anything about it. And then he just gets up and just, like...
So you're throwing it whenever you're in water polo to get goals?
You're throwing it.
Dude. Imagine
that sounds kind of fun.
Imagine, that sounds very fun, except for a dude that has dreads. But imagine being the goalie, and you're just like swimming, and you're treading water to be right above the water, and a nigga, because I imagine that Hosmer, if he's the top scorer in the nation, isn't throwing it very lightly. But imagine you're the goalie. No. Imagine you're the goalie, and you're just up here like this, I'm gonna save it. And then a fucking baseball speed fucking volleyball comes and nails you in the head. And bounces off the post and goes in.
No, it's really sad because a lot of the times we're playing these shit schools who like barely even know what water polo is, and who gets put as the goalie? Oh, the
worst nigga!
The fat kid who can't swim. That's what I'm saying. The fat kid who can't swim.
He's buoyant.
And then he's just like, it's like boom, boom, boom. Like he's bouncing off his head. We call it JFK. Like, hits your head, bounces off the bar, goes, hits your head again, back in. Like, bang, 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 bang. It's like pinball. Like, I'm not even playing. It's watching him playing water polo with Hosmer. Like, you're in the game, and it's create spacing for Hosmer, give him the ball. Like, that's all you're doing. You pass it around, try to run drills, but, like, do we really need it? We have Hosmer. Like, he's just going to do his thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just kill everyone. So it's like, it was really, like, a different experience. Like, I don't know.
It's like playing with MJ.
Exactly. But, like, it's also, like, MJ against like a really good
retarded people,
like a good college team, or like a shitty like a D3 college team.
MJ actually won the National League the year he played in college. But I wanted to know more about your actual high school experience. So, like, let me explain. In my freshman year of high school, like my 8th grade year, I was going around trying to make friends with everybody. I was like,
really?
Yeah, I was like, I want to be friends with everybody. There's this kid named Espen Paul that I didn't know. His name is spelled ESPN because his parents are rednecks.
Oh man,
he actually broke his arm because he was at a NASCAR thing and a tire went over and broke his arm. But
that's beautiful.
That was one dude I didn't know. There was another dude named Colton Thrift I didn't know. Colton's cool as fuck. But, like, there was a bunch of people in 8th grade that I didn't know, and I was like, I want to know these people. And I ended up meeting them in 8th grade. And then I went to high school where, like, there was a big high school and 2 big middle schools, and we met everybody. And then high school, my 9th grade year of high school is when I realized, I was like, I'm not going to be cool. I was like, I want to be, like, my 8th grade year, I was like, I want to know everybody and be cool. And 9th grade year, I didn't want to be cool. I was like, I'm not going to know everybody. I'll meet people as I meet them, but I'm not going to go out of my way to meet them. Like, if you could explain to me what your 9th grade was like.
I mean, I never go out of my way to meet people, to be honest. But I just, like, I mean, 9th grade, like, dude, I hardly remember it. I was just kind of doing the water polo thing, mostly hanging out with kids who actually don't even go to the school anymore. We went to St. Mary's, right? Like, it's a private school. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just fizzle out. That's just how it is. It's kind of a small school.
Poor parents. That's what we'll say.
It's like, a lot of kids, like, get shit grades. Like, why are we paying for this? You You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of those were my friends, and and so they kind of just fizzled out. You know, sophomore year was like the same way. That's kind of when they left. You know, junior year, I kind of just like I met my I met some friends through my boy Dean. I had a bunch of classes with, right? He's a year older, and then I kind of just like through them, and then also like a lot of these new friends that I was making were like, you know, I also like they were also friends with people from like water polo. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how like my friend group is like now.
When did you meet like the Stockton niggas? Like for me and Jake, whenever we address like Nick, Truax, Jack, B-Man, all of you guys are the Stockton niggas. What year did you meet them?
Okay, well, Truax, we didn't really hang out with Truax and Brandon and Seabass in high school that much.
Hold up, let me ask a question. Was that because you just didn't...
They went to Lincoln. So they went to our rival high school, right? And we did kind of like what?
You good, Nathaniel?
I'm sorry, I'm good. But you're talking about Truax, B-Man, and... Seabass.
Yeah,
they went to Lincoln, and you went to St. Mary's?
We went to St. Mary's, but also...
Nick went to St. Mary's, right?
Yeah, me, Nick, Jack, fucking...
Jacob?
Yeah, Jacob. He's a year older than me, but yeah, Jacob.
So he's class of 2018?
Yeah. And and then but we I was friends with Nick and Jack, really, and I was friends with Hosmer through water polo, right? And Hosmer is like really good friends with Truax, really good friends with, he's really good friends with Seabass, and really good friends with Brandon. So like we kind of like knew of them, right? We'd always go over to Hosmer's house like every week, and like every weekend, like maybe like come back from a party or something. Like we always play poker. That's what we do. Stupid. We just poker, like smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? We sleep over at his house. The way his old house was set up, it's right on the Delta, which is like kind of like our little like lake in fucking Stockton, right? Like you know, if you're rich, you have a boat and you go on the Delta.
By the way, real quick, Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz are from Stockton.
Oh yeah, you know Jacob really knows Nate Diaz.
Yeah, he trains at Jacob trains at Nate Diaz's gym.
Yeah, I'm sure he's told you that. And then, but Jacob, no, I'm just playing. I mean, I'm sure he has before, but Nate Diaz actually comes over to Jacob's house like regularly. Like he just flew his dad Ernie out on a jet or whatever. Like he just flew him on a private jet like to his last fight. That's pretty interesting. Like they're like Ernie Jacob's dad's like a big sponsor of Nate's. Or not, yeah. And like he knows Nick Diaz too well, but no, but no, but yeah, he's got a good relationship with them. It's hella cool.
Nate is so weak.
I'm sorry. If you're gonna let me know if you want me to edit that out. You're gonna let me know if you want me to edit that last part. But that made me laugh so fucking hard. I'm sorry, but back to Stockton. That was your ninth grade year. You said you met Truax.
No. This is back in This is like junior year. I'm friends with Jack and Nick, right? And I met him through my boy Dean, who's a year older than me. And we like this is crazy. Like it was kind of weird. Like I can't remember really the switch, but like all of a sudden I was just like hanging out with Jack and Nick all the time, like in Dean. Like it was just like all the time, like.
Did you golf? Because I know that Jack and Nick golf.
They're all Dean's on the golf team. Dean's a really good golfer, and but they all were on the golf team. But like I remember like it was just like I don't even know. Like we became friends. Like oh, okay, and we're just like I remember I met Nick once. Like we kind of like talked on a little bit on the mic. I met Nick one time
on Xbox.
on Discord, and he'd be over at Jack's house, and I'd met Nick like once or twice, and then like he like invited me to go to like his house like in Carmel, like I had like seen him physically.
You know, I've heard this thing about
and then we all hung out there. And then it just kind of stemmed through that, and then like it all just connects.
I want you to answer this question. I've heard a rumor about Nick. It's technically about his dad. I've heard that he owns a cocaine business that's in Nicaragua, and there's a whole mountain that Nick's dad owns.
Yeah, Nick's dad owns a mountain in Nicaragua. It's
how big? Have you been to it?
No. We couldn't go. We couldn't go to Nicaragua because there's like a war going on.
Because there's so much cocaine.
Yeah,
so much cocaine.
But yeah, he's got a. There's a bunch of armed guards too, but it's also a lot of Hondurans that are coming in and trying to steal plants and shit.
Gross! I hate Central Americans. Half Mexican. You can't call me racist.
but no. Nick's dad owns a coffee business. He has 2 shops in Stockton. It's called Trail Coffee. It's kind of like a bougie like Starbucks. You know what I'm saying?
It's fire though.
Huh?
Have you been there?
Honestly, I'm not even trying.
Are you a coffee guy?
Huh?
Let me ask. Are you a coffee guy? Do you drink coffee without Nick's dad's place?
Yeah. I used to go to this coffee shop in Presso.
What do you rate Nick's dad's coffee place?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. Is like, yeah, like Nick's my friend, and obviously whatever. But you can tell the quality of the beans. Like it's
good
just
or bad?
better. It just tastes better. It tastes better. It's not like Starbucks. Like they like you could order the same thing at Starbucks. And it's gonna be like it's gonna be mid. It's like you can tell the quality, and also I feel like it gets you like. I remember one time Nick sometimes he'd give me like $40 and I'd help shovel beans like in a bag like in the back of Trail like Coffee Roasters, that's his shop, and I would like shovel beans in bags that they're gonna go ship out, right? And he'd give me like $40. Like he'd do that. I've done it like a couple or like 3 or 4 times, and they would always like just give me drinks for free. And I noticed, like, I mean, I don't really get like a caffeine like boost from coffee, really, but like I get low key wired on Nick's beans, like for real, like I'm actually
a bean and a half.
Like I'm actually freaking wired on that shit. I'm actually I can tell, I can like physically tell a difference. Like and it tastes good too. But it is like that for like an artisanal like coffee shop. Like there's another shop in Stockton, like Impresso, my buddy Jay, his cousins own it, and like it's like the same shit. It's like better quality beans, like you know what I'm saying. It's gonna taste better. It tastes better than like Starbucks or like fucking Pete's Coffee or some shit.
Dude, this is a big switch. But Jake, I had this surprise for you about a week and a half ago. Grant, I didn't tell you about this at all.
Okay.
I told Jake about this surprise. I told him that there was a surprise, but I didn't want to tell him specifically what it was. There's a guy named Harvey. I'm so sorry. There's a woman named Harvey Marcelin. It's a New Yorker. So,
oh man,
Harvey Marcelin is this woman. I'm sorry, Grant. This is completely random to you. I had this planned for me and Jake's podcast, but I just found out Grant was back this week, nigga, and that we had to get Grant on. But there's a person named Harvey Marcelin in New York. That's it's a person that was born with a dick, and they identify as a woman, so they're in woman prison now. But she just got arrested, and she is like an 83-year-old that has murdered 2 people, like in the 50s and the 60s. But they're in New York prison right now because they got caught with a person that they murdered. They cut the body in multiple pieces, and she was hiding a leg and like a target, and they put her with women. And she said that she had a problem with women, and that's all that she killed. Also in the 60s, she fucking murdered another person and cut their body into pieces and hid it all over New York. But she got out after.
She hid the leg in a Target, like, store?
That's like 2022 shit. In 1960, Harvey Marcelin, which was then a man, Harvey Marcelin is still the name, but it's a woman now. You're a sexist. You both are sexist. That's a woman now. Don't judge her. But Harvey Marcelin back in the 60s, when it was a man, killed a woman and cut her body into pieces and hid it all over New York and got caught for that murder. But in the 50s, Harvey Marcelin, when he was also a man, had got another woman and killed her and cut her into pieces. But now she is free. She is in a woman's prison right now. And I wanted to tell you about that, Jake, because I thought that was pretty interesting.
Is she already getting arrested for raping like 3 bitches in there like the other trans dude that they put in a girl's prison?
I don't know.
See that? I have not seen that. I didn't know that was allowed.
Yeah, dude, you can just say, I'm a woman and I'm going into a woman's prison. Nigga, I don't give a fuck what it's for.
Sounds like the move.
The guy got like
Nigga.
2 chicks pregnant, and like the first week he was there, he raped like 3 chicks.
That was a black dude.
Yeah.
See,
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Harvey Marston is
I mean, personally, I'd rather be in a women's prison.
Nigga, yes! A woman's not gonna beat you to death with a fucking weight bar like they did to Jeffrey Dahmer. Women's prison is way better. And you get pussy at the end of the night if she's a fine bitch, too. So, women's prison is way better. Women's prison... Nigga, if you're in man's prison, you're going to get raped in the fucking ass. Yeah. There is no question. Yeah. You're getting raped in the ass if you're in dude prison. Women's prison...
100% of people in prison are probably getting raped.
Oh, yeah. And if you're in women's prison, unless you're a big-ass dinga, then you probably...
Still might.
You still might. But you got a good chance. But, like, most niggas do get raped in prison.
I would get absolutely ravaged.
But, like, if
they'd
you're...
be pulling my hair and shit.
They'd be yanking that shit.
Nigga,
they would be going in.
Think about the difference between, like, if you're just a dude... Let's say all 3 got convicted of murder.
Yeah.
And we're like... What do I want to go to? Man prison or women prison? We all know in man prison, it's a good chance we're going to get raped. It doesn't matter what we did.
Are they really just letting anyone do that now?
I mean, they let Harvey Marston do it. And
does he at least... Is it just like blatantly a dude? Or are they at least like clearly a trans person?
Nigga, I just said Harvey Marston.
Okay.
But... Fucking, I'll show you the picture.
After this, speaking about men getting raped reminded me of something I've wanted to tell you about all week, but I saved for the podcast.
Dude.
This shit is a crazy theory that I heard. I guess it's not even a theory.
This is Harvey Marston, the woman. In prison with women. So, like, imagine you committed murder and you're like, oh, what do I want to go to? Do I want to go get raped or do I want to go with women?
Bro threw a wig on.
Nigga.
So let's go.
Imagine. That's wild to me.
Dude. You ready for this awesome rape story?
Yes, all rape stories are awesome, but keep going.
I saw this clip from a podcast. It was like let's call it a hip-hop podcast, because it was all African-American gentlemen. And they had like 3 guests on, and I guess they were all like older rappers. They all looked like they were at least in their 40s or something. And one of them was talking about how record labels would fly out rappers that they were going to sign and then get them, like, drug these motherfuckers. And then, like,
they were trying to get signed?
Yeah, they would drug them, like, the night before the signing, and then have, like, 3 dudes fucking rape them when they're passed out and record it. And then they go in the next day to just do the, like... fucking record negotiation, and they just give them some bullshit ass contract.
360 deal.
They turn that shit on the TV, and they're like, "You gonna sign it?"
I was just talking about this with Jacob. It's like they record you, they run a train on your ass, and then you're like, so you're scared as fuck. So you're fucking like, what? Like, what's going on? And like, you get this video, and your ass hurts, and you're just like, oh, well, at least I'm getting money, and you just sign your shit away. That's how they sell your soul in fucking the rap game. You get some 360 deal and they own your whole fucking life. Yeah, for real.
What in the fuck, my nigga? Niggas are raping niggas in the music game?
Well, yeah, bro. Dude, there's always been some such shit with, like, you just, like, get a vibe. Like, it's just, like, real homie love. Like, bro, you just get a vibe that there's some gay shit in, like, rap to me.
Birdman was raping Lil Wayne.
Birdman kisses Lil Wayne on the mouth. Like,
nigga, I told him about that last week. Birdman had to have been raping him.
Dude, I saw some Lil Wayne bars talking about, like, all these rappers out here actually been sexually assaulted or something. Just hiding it with chains. Huh?
Can I get a sip of your bit?
Yeah.
But
nigga.
No, yeah, that's how they get him in the 360
Isn't that
deal,
foul
bro.
as fuck?
And that's what they call a 360 deal. It's your fucking asshole. No, but it's fucking, no, that's crazy. I saw that shit too, and honestly, I low-key believe it, bro. Like,
I believe
Young
it,
Thug,
too.
I 1000%.
That dude was being dead
Young
ass.
Thug, I believe.
Like,
I
Young
believe
Thug,
Young Thug
bro.
has sucked a cock without having somebody made him do it. Young
like-
Thug wore a dress and he's like, I was hiding an AK-47 under the dress.
Yeah, I'm saying no. Yeah,
Shut up,
The part that he
faggot.
doesn't tell you about the Lil Baby story is that when he gave him all that money and told him to start rapping and get off the streets, he had just got done fucking him.
Dude,
They were in
have
bed
you heard
together.
that? Have you heard that story?
What?
Young Thug and Lil Baby are both from Atlanta, and Young Thug was
Oh
pretty,
yeah, I have it. And then they paid because he was like, "You getting off the streets?
You gotta get off the streets,
yeah,
bro.
paid.
Hey, you gotta do the Young Thug voice where you sound like a crazy person. Hey, my baby, you gotta get off the street, nigga, and talking just fucking like you're
like
an
next
insane
level
person.
Ebonics, like for real.
Yeah.
But it's
And then give him like $10,000 at the beginning.
That should be a fucking game show.
Next level Ebonics, and they just bring fucking Jeff Goldblum on to see if he can decipher what these fucking niggers are saying.
Dude, one of the best antics in the Discord is Nate saying shit in heavy Ebonics to see if people understand
It's
it.
mainly Jay.
and
Hey,
Jimbo.
hold up, we're gonna play a game real quick. Not Jay. Grant, I want you to tell me if you can understand what I'm saying, and I want you to, as soon as I say it, repeat it back to me in white.
okay.
What the player?
What player?
What? Say that again.
What player?
You have the first two words right. I'm pretty sure. What's the last word that you're saying?
Player.
Okay, so what I'm saying there is what the play, yeah. In Atlanta lingo, that's like is. What is
What's
the play?
What's the play?
Yeah.
What to play, yeah.
I'm trying to think of some other shit. Dude, I had so many for Jay. What the fuck you got going on there? No, that's so easy. I was going to say, what the fuck you got
He
going on
literally
there?
didn't even get what it is.
Yeah, Jay didn't get what it is because he's from North Carolina. We have a friend from North Carolina, and I was like, what the play? He was like, what are you saying, Nate?
And Jay grew up his entire childhood there in South Carolina, only hanging out with black people.
Because he was in Sumter. That's
Yeah.
where the Civil War started, in Fort Sumter, actually.
Yeah.
But fucking...
That's why Jay's racism is justified, is because he lived there in that
Jay's
place.
not
as
even a
hell.
racist. He
No,
just
he's
hates
not.
everybody. But I don't really have that... Dude, I'm trying to think of some more nigger speak for Grant.
I forgot. I can't jokingly accuse my friends of
Did you grow
racism.
up around black people or like or white people?
Yeah. So, like, in Camden, there was a lot of everything. Like, in my elementary...
50-50, literally.
There was, like... Well, it wasn't like 50-50 because there was other races. There was, like, a lot of Hispanics.
There was not that many Hispanics compared to like out
And
here.
Matilda Harris and Camden Middle, there was quite a few Oh, well.
But in like
compared to
CCHS is when
here,
everyone came together,
This
though.
is like Spick Nation. This is back in Georgia. There wasn't a lot of Hispanics. That's me and you, Grant. I can't be claimed as racist, by the way.
But at CCHS, I looked up the fucking.
Me and Jake are gonna pass these out. By the way, I ordered these. Pass these out. But fucking, there was quite a few black people. It was like Jalen Davis and like Gregory Horton, and I didn't really like the black people that were around me growing up. But I didn't Okay, so Jalen Davis.
The first thing that Nate said whenever he came over to my house in front of my dad was, "I hate black people."
I do hate black people, kind of.
You said that to your dad?
His dad is fucking hilarious. I don't hate black people as a whole, but I do hate black people how they behave. And a lot of black people act a certain way because they think that that's the only way that it's acceptable by other black people. And they act absurdly. Like me, you would not be able to tell if my skin was white or black. You wouldn't be able to tell if you couldn't see me. But like a lot of black people act black just because they're scared to act another way because they don't want black people to judge them. But I was one of the few, the proud, Childish Gambino is another one, that was just like, my dad's going to beat my ass if I talk in Ebonics. I'm not going to talk like that. And I was normal and I grew up funny. But like, there's like a line in the sand between people like me and Childish Gambino and like white black people and like black people. And I feel way closer to like a person like you or you than I do to black people. And it's really weird. And a lot of people will, like, literally there are people that have called me racist because I feel so disconnected from those other black people. And I'll call them animals because the ability to shoot someone in the head that lives 2 doors down from you because they're in a different gang to me, makes you an animal. I could never shoot any of the people around me because I'm like, these are the people that live around me. I mean, like, I don't know them.
I mean, Nate, I hate to break it to you, but that's not just black people. That's just gang members as a whole of all different races. You know, I mean, you can't just generalize black people for doing that when, like, a whole, like, Mexicans, like Southeast Asians, like, there's, like, even white people. Like, it's all the same shit in Stockton, you know what I'm saying?
But there's a lot of black people that do it. Would you admit that, like, in America at least? Okay,
well,
so...
I mean, just my experience, the people that mostly die are Mexican people in Stockton.
That's in California, that's fair.
Yeah, it's California, but, yeah, like, 100p. But, like... No, I mean, gang violence is stupid, like, whatever, but, like, that's just how it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't generalize black people because black people are in low-income neighborhoods. Like, a lot of black people are in low-income neighborhoods. Like, that's just gonna cause crimes. Like, a lot of people don't get it. It's like, for being in a different gang, it's like, bro, a lot of these kids in Stockton and stuff, like, that are in gangs, they're not really in gangs. They live on a certain street, and then, guess what? This is their options. You're walking down the street. Hey, bro, where you live? You live off Kelly? Well, it's like, yeah, they see me coming from Kelly. And she's like, oh, you must be blah, 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 you must be a norteño. Like, whatever. And it's like, well, what do? I live off Kelly, and even if I tell them not a norteño, they're still gonna mug my shit. They're still gonna beat my ass. They're still gonna take my money. Oh, so, like, why would I not get protection from the gang? They're gonna fucking treat me the same way anyway. Why would I not be in the gang? All the people on my street who, like, you know what I'm saying? You're kind of forced into the gang. You're getting treated as a gang member, so why not be that? You know what I'm saying? It's like it just creates like a cycle.
And I get that 100% because, like, the thing is I'm actually speaking about something different than that because I was born in Georgia and lived in Georgia. California politics is way different. If you live on 55th Street, then you're kind of stuck with that. And that's an issue I see with the black community is I don't see a lot of that in the white community. Like, back they used to have the mafia in, like, Chicago and, like, New York City. And, like, they would have issues, but it would be like if you lived in Chicago, like, in the street that Whitey Bulger's on, it was like if someone's committing crime on the street that Whitey Bulger runs, then, like, they're going to be the one that get their fucking eyelids torn off, and they're going to be the ones that get their kneecaps broken. But, like, in Los Angeles and San Francisco, it's the black people that are doing that.
You're kind of like, you're dipping into organized crime versus unorganized crime, you know what I'm saying?
It's like, pretty organized, though, dude.
You think where it's organized? In New York?
No, in Los Angeles. Now the mob has been broken up, but in Los Angeles, it's not, like, as organized as, like, the mob, but it is organized. Like, the 55th Street Crips, those niggas know who they are. And, okay, the Rolling 60s know who they are. The Rolling 40s know who they are. The Rolling 20s know who they are. I know a nigga that works with me named Rand. Not gonna finish. There was an RA in there. But he was like, oh, I'm Baby Devil on 114th Street, nigga. Ask about me. And I'm like, that's just strange that they would know about you because, like, I'm assuming he didn't tell me anything. But the deeds that he's done back in his day were so bad that those people are still around that they'll know about him. And it's like, dude, you guys are kind of like glorifying yourselves through the violence you're doing. And I don't see it. That's what I'm saying is, like, the organized crime with, like, the white people, they were trying to make money. And that's what the black people claim to do.
Yeah, they kept the drugs in the black neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying?
No. We can't say that because there was white people doing drugs too. But, like,
but they mostly try to push it over there.
The mob, though, it wasn't just about that. They were stealing, like, horse racing. They were stealing things like that. They were about their money. And then I see a lot of
everything was a bag chasing endeavor.
Yeah. Exactly. They would take over, like, businesses, like the newspaper, and it was just about money. But then I see black people, and they're killing each other, and it's not even, like, gaining the money. And I'm just like, it's not like I'm saying black people are dumber than white people. I think we're in a different place than white people. I really do think that, like, I mean, black people, not now, but, like, the black people that came over to America, like the North America area, grew up differently than the people that came over to North America from Europe. I think they had a much different upbringing. And for some reason, I feel like a lot of the black people that came over here are... I mean, maybe it's uncivilized, I guess you would use the word, but they're just a little bit behind and they act crazy. And I hang out with a lot of black people. Like at my family reunions, I would see black people, and it made me so sad because they would be like,
at your family reunions, you would see black. Yeah,
dude, they made me sad because they would just be like, it's the cops that are making us do all this. And I knew my family members that were doing crimes, and I'm like, dude, you gotta start taking responsibility. Like that's the only way we're gonna stop being in crime is if you take responsibility for what you're doing and stop doing it. But like a lot of black people don't want to see that. Like, look at Nigerians. Nigerians come over to America. Nigerians do better than normal white people.
Yeah,
both you and you, a Nigerian does better than both of you.
Okay, but Nate, it's because it's got nothing to do with race and got everything to do with culture.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But that's a good point, actually. Very good point. Is I'm saying the American black people have stopped taking responsibility for our culture, and we started being so okay with blaming white people for our culture being messed up and not being willing to take responsibility. Like, yeah, there's a gang culture in the neighborhood. You can 100% get out of that. There's football players in the NFL that have got out of that and not done any gang shit. There's NBA players that have got out of that.
But that's an outlet. Not everyone can be in the NFL.
Not everybody can. I agree with you. But some people can, and it's about your work ethic. I bet if you ask about Deshaun Jackson, who actually quoted Hitler once, or tried, he's hilarious. Not a great person, but he brought himself out of the hood into a good position. And it's like, not everyone's going to be able to do that, but you got to have the work ethic to want to get out of that situation, to get out. Like,
I mean, everybody goes to public high school for free, and you can grind your ass off and fucking get like a scholarship. You don't have to be an athlete because you're black.
Do you know who Andrew Callahan is with Channel 5?
Yeah.
He did an episode about O-Block. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I did with OD. No, he's talking about OD. It was that guy, what's his name?
It was a lot of people, but it made me sad, dude, because like some of those people were like rapping, and then they would rap about killing niggas, and they're like, then afterward would be like, see, that's how I want to be successful.
That sells.
I get that it sells, but it's like, dude, they'd be like, I want to be successful, like what I just rapped about, and they're rapping about killing niggas, and I'm like, dude,
that's what suburban white kids
but
like.
They're not just
That's
rapping.
what suburban white kids like. They like drill rap. That's how it is, man.
But those niggas are doing that, and it's sad to see that, like, those niggas think that the way out is to kill other people and rap about it, and it's like, that's not the way out. It's the way to keep other people in your community
I don't think
down.
they think that's a way out. I don't think that's just their reality.
They look at King Von. I'm about to piss. You guys keep going. Or I'll edit it out. But fuck it.
But no, I mean that's just their reality. To be honest, like
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's what sells. Like what?
Yeah.
No one wants to live like
that's what they were saying.
I just got my GED. Like who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Like
Yeah, for sure.
They want to talk about fuck it. They want to hear things about like spinning the block, like fucking. Like counting this money. You know
If they just want to finesse suburban white kids, though, they could just rap about it and then not do it. And I'll just laugh about it.
And I'm sure most of rap is like that.
I mean, yeah.
Come on. Like, I mean, it's just how it is. That's just what sells.
Nate's just on his hate black people agenda.
Yeah, I know. He's been drinking a little bit, huh? I know. Nate,
How many drinks did you drink at the fucking stand-up?
Arch Society.
Yeah.
Nigga, I had 3 whiskey cokes, and I had to have Jack Daniels in the fridge. In the freezer, and I had 2 whiskey cokes before I left.
You're a madman.
But back to the thing. It's not like I think that black people aren't capable of it, because I'm a black person that knows that black people are capable of being normal humans. I know a lot of black people that are like me that just are like, whenever you first met me, let me guess your first thought whenever you heard me talk. He doesn't sound like a black person. Like, is that true?
No.
Really? You know a lot of black people. Okay, but like in Georgia, a lot of the time whenever I met somebody, they're like, you don't sound black. And no, seriously, that is.
I gotta be honest. I mean,
I don't.
It's not that you don't sound I mean, yeah, if you, I mean, yeah, I guess, but like, you do not sound like any black people that I have met.
Exactly. No, I'm not blaming you at all.
Actually, that's
that
not
was
true.
from
Actually,
Leon.
No,
Actually, that's not true. That's not true.
Leon
That's not true. That's not
enforced
true.
My
That's
dad,
actually not true. That's not true.
listen, Grant. My dad, Leon, literally made me speak a certain way because he said to me, like, he was like, I do not want you speaking like other black people. I want you to speak proper like a white person so they can understand you. That was his goal whenever he raised me. That's why I speak very clearly. And I don't, like, I mean, that's me, and I see a lot of other black people that speak in Ebonics and shit, and they don't really, I sound a lot different than other black people. And a lot of people said that to me when I was in Georgia. And I was like, what does that mean? And it wasn't just a thing about how I spoke, it was about how I acted. Because there were some people like Greg Horton, if you know him. Greg spoke pretty clearly when he was around white people. He could speak clearly, but he acted like a nigger.
Fool.
Like a nigger. Dude, it was like there was a lot of black people that just felt it wasn't on him. It was what he thought was the way that you're supposed to act to get the most respect. And it was also his dad's fault. And his dad was very bad. He beat the shit out of him. I felt very bad for Greg. I didn't like him, but his dad was a very bad person.
Yeah.
But like, he set a bad example for what being a good person was, and I think that his dad was black. I think that roots from black people not teaching their sons what it's like to be a good individual in society. I can deal with everybody. I was at the grocery store earlier. There was a little, I guess you could call it an altercation where there was 3 people that tried to turn at the same time with our carts. I was like, oh, excuse me, I'll back up. A lot of black people that I know wouldn't have thought like that's the right move, is to let other people go first. And it's like how we're raising our own kids. And like that's the main issue I'm getting at, is like we need to raise our kids better to be like outstanding members of society, where you can just like see a black person and not see them as different than a white person. But I don't think that white people are seeing as black people. They're not seeing black people as different because of our skin. I think it's because of how we act a lot of the times. I think black people, not every black person, but I think a lot of black people act not in a way that, like, in a respectable way to other white people. I think a lot of black people treat white people bad. A main example is on the basketball court. Jake is, this isn't a joke, but Jake is a lot better than me at basketball. But if me and him go to a basketball court right now, or it's night, but if we go to a basketball court, they're going to treat him with disrespect off the bat. They're going to be like, white boy can't play. They're going to pick me probably because I'm black. And like if you guys did the opposite and like it was a spelling bee and you're like, I don't want that dude. I don't want that dude with dreads. It would be an issue. But I don't know, man. Black people are okay with treating white people bad. And I just want that to stop. I really want that to stop because I don't think it's okay.
I've experienced a good amount of racism on the basketball court.
I don't
Have
know.
you ever felt that?
I guess, but that's just like, bro, I mean, in Stockton, like, yeah, like, black guys at the gas station, like, blasting music, like, who gives a fuck, you know what I'm saying, like, blasting, like, rap music at the shit, like, that's what my dad would always say, be like, why do people think that's okay to do, like, blast music at the gas station, like, but, I mean, other than that, I mean, that's just how, like, a lot of just, like, people are. Like, most people, white people, too. Like, people don't have, like, respect nowadays.
Do you guys have that feeling where you want to blast loud music in your car? Because I don't know. I literally don't know what it is, but I want to blast my music on 50. 50 is about as loud as you can get without busting my speakers. I want to play my music on 50 when I'm driving around the city. Do you have that?
I mean, maybe if it's like a song comes in and like my big shuffle.
No. I want that all the time. Do you have that either?
No, I don't like that. Nick has that.
Nick is a nigger. Seabass is also a nigger. I've also said that about Seabass. But fucking dude, I don't know what it is. Me and every black person I've ever met love blasting music. It's a difference between our cultures, dude. And I hate that people don't acknowledge it, but that's a black thing. We love blasting our music. And it's like, people will be like, oh, what? Do you think your music's so good you want other people to hear it? And it's like, no, but I love my music so much I want it to be loud so everyone can hear it.
Just secretly want to be deaf.
Yeah, I want to be... So I can't hear my AirPods.
Dude, yeah, AirPods are quiet.
Nah, I used to have this. Friend, Anthony Weedverez. He'd always bust. He'd be breaking out his speakers. Like he'd have to replace. He's replaced his speakers like 2 times, just blasting it, dude. Like the whole car just shakes. Like I don't know. Like I hated being in that car. Like we're just like, bro. Like poor him. He's like addicted to perks now. But like,
Nice.
dude, me and Anthony Weedverez, bro. We would go off to lunch, right? And we would go, and there's this park behind St. Mary's, our high school. I swear to God, there's like heroin addicts, like literally, like they're nodding off. They're so far gone, you can't even tell like what gender they are. Like they got no teeth, they got the whole gummy shit, you know,
Hey,
going
you
on.
can't
You know what I'm
just
talking
assume
about.
someone's gender off appearance.
And then whenever you want to talk about haircuts, you can just say meth, and we get what you mean.
It's not, yeah, no, exactly. And they'd be nodding off. We'd just be like hitting a pipe, like.
Looking at all the
A
corpses.
crack, by the way. Grant is a crackhead. That's what he was telling me.
Yeah, no, but we'd be hitting the crack pipe. No, we'd be hitting the fucking, we'd be hitting the crack pipe, or we'd be hitting we'd be shooting up. No, we'd be fucking, obviously smoke weed. We'd smoke out of a bong. Sometimes you get dabs.
You were
But-
toting the fucking dab rig to school.
Oh yeah. Well, dabs don't smell. That's
I
what.
mean, yeah, but fuck, that's a lot of equipment.
That's scary.
Did you like bring it in your car?
Well, no, it was all Anthony Weedverez in his little Beamer.
Didn't you say you lived like you told me that you live like 5 minutes from the school, right? The high
Cap.
school.
Nah, cap. I live around. I'd say like 9 minutes.
That's not bad. Dude, I live like 3 minutes from the high school. I used to go back to my crib and smoke behind the house.
I lived so
I definitely
far.
couldn't make it back. No, I remember one time me and Anthony got so high we forgot to go to class. No, I'm not even playing. We like came back. We came back. We go to his parking spot, and Anthony always fucking parked in the teacher's parking spot because they were like easy way to get out of the. And then I started doing that too, and then they caught us. But we were just chilling there, like in front of the school, like just talking, and like 45 minutes go by, and like we're like, what? Dude, we forgot to go to class. It's like,
Wait, hold on. What time? Like, so usually whenever you're in a class, like the last whistle on the fucking announcement thing goes, and like everybody's in the class usually. It takes about like 5-10 minutes for everyone to settle in. Like, what point of the class was it in? Was it like well into the time that the teacher
it was 45 minutes into the class, and we were.
Did you go in?
Huh? Well, so my class was a TA job. So basically, I was.
You were
I
in the
was-
front office.
I was in. The, yeah, how'd you know? I was in the front.
That's where the teacher, the thing is. Well, I guess I assume that.
Yeah, no, but I was a special TA for the lady. I basically I give out the slips. I walk around the whole school and I give out the slips, to like for people to like go to the office or like get called by a teacher or like get a detention slip, and like dude, I just forgot to go, and then Anthony I think he was in like a anatomy class or some shit. Dude, I don't know. He didn't really care. He just wasn't really. He wasn't
Did you
too
go
worried
back
about
in there
school.
Nigga didn't give a fuck.
Huh?
Did you go back in there torched? And do your
Dude,
shit?
yeah, no, I went there and I was like, actually, no, I didn't end up going because I was like, well, dude,
Did
it's
you go
so late.
home?
I was just kind of like,
Or did you
I
just
walked
wait till the
around.
next class?
Dude, I just waited to the next class. I walked around. I got a soda because we were a private school, so we could have soda, like vending machines and shit. You know what I'm saying? But, dude. I remember Anthony Weaverez gave me this. He gave me this cake edible one time, right? And he was like, look, my sister made these edibles. Like let's take it. I was like, dude, I never really like done like a big amount of edibles, like especially not at school, right? And like for some reason on this day, me and Anthony and like a group of like 3 other students get called to the principal's office, right? And we're supposed to talk with her, see how we can improve the school. Like it was like this random.
Wait. So it wasn't related to the edible.
No, it wasn't related to the edible, but
You had already taken it?
Yeah, we'd already taken it. We get in there fucking fried, bro. I was like, dude, and I get paranoid off edibles for real. And especially I'm like right there and I'm like, shit, I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm looking at Anthony, and he's just like in the back, fucking fucking like trying not to laugh, like looking around, like what? And I'm like, she's like asking us about like what we could do to improve school. I'm like, longer lunch. I'm like,
recess for everyone, dude.
Bro, like, dude, I was tripping. And then they were like, we can't do that. And I'm like, all right, fucking, like, get me the fuck out of here. I'm like, dude, Anthony Weaverez used to have these fucking ferrets, and he used to blow smoke in the cage.
Aren't they illegal in California?
Yeah, he went to Nevada. He went to here, and he went to Nevada. He picked up some ferrets. He fucking just like, dude, he, like, I don't even know why I had them. He like never took them out. I just blew smoke at him. Retarded.
Dude, do you think animals like dogs and cats really get high when
I swear to God, my dog Nick Fortney, one time we used to hang out in this kid's Max League garage, and Nick Fortney ripped a fat dab, and we got this cat that like was just in the neighborhood cat, but we just like adopted it. We called it So-So. We named it after Chief Keef. And we fucking Nick Fortney like takes a fat dab and just blows it at the cat. Like, I swear to God, it passed out. It dropped. Like, it just dropped. Like, we're on the couch.
That's like me when I hit the Jeff dab, nigga. Yeah, that's like me
Jeff
when I hit the Jeff dab. Dude, I'm sorry. I had to cut your story off.
What's the Jeff dab?
Me and him worked at a store called Publix. It was a grocery store. It was very nice. I've heard of it. So, me and Jake both smoked weed at the time. There was a dude named Jeff that was like 25.
But this was like way into us working there because you got hired at like what, 14, and I got hired right when I turned 16.
So like it was like 2017 probably. I smoked weed with Jake for the first time. There was this thing at Jeff that was our supervisor. That's like the nigga right in between us and like the assistant customer service manager. And like he was a cool ass nigga. Had a bald head, looked like a pedophile who was the shit. His name was Jeff. I'm not gonna say his last name, but one time, apparently before me, he had invited Jake to come take a dab, and Jake introduced me to smoking. So Jake was fine.
Did I?
Yes, you did. Well, actually, Walter and Joe Smith did, but like you really introduced me to smoking. But Jake went and hit a dab with Jeff, and like came back
and Dennis.
Yeah, and so you guys were high.
No, like, dabs are too much of work, man.
Actually, no. The first time I hit the dab with Jeff, it was just me.
So the first time I hit a dab in my life, I've never hit a dab. I've only smoked weed with Jake. And every time I smoked weed with Jake, by the way, I would be laying on his bed, and Jake would be like, don't go to sleep, Nate. And I'd be like, oh, sorry, bro. And fucking Jake would be like, come on, Nate, stay awake. And I'd pass out like...
You guys know. I remember Dallas you'd fall asleep for a while.
No. It was way worse than Jake. Like, Jake could slap me in the face as hard as he wanted, and I would not have woke up.
That's crazy.
So, like, anyways...
funny.
I was like that level of smoking, and like I'll show you a picture afterwards. But Jeff had let me hit a dab with him. He was like, me and Jeff had an hour break, which usually we'd have like a 30-minute break was normal. Me and him both had an hour break at the same time. And Jeff was like, I'm about to go hit a dab. Do you want to come with me? I had just bought a big...
Jeff was low. He was such a goober, but he was plugged for that.
Jeff was
he was
cool.
always looking out.
I had bought a bag of midnight grapes, which were the teardrop ones that were like skinny and like long. And like I had bought a fucking Publix sub that was the Sausalito turkey and like the fucking the pepper jack cheese and the mayonnaise and the pepper and everything on that shit. And I ate it all on the way there. My nigga. We hit the dab. Dude. As soon as I hit the dab, I felt my soul leave my body. When I was 14, I had a soul. When I was 16, I hit the dab with Jeff. I didn't have a soul afterwards. And fucking, I literally felt it lift out of me like fucking that you remember the SpongeBob movie where he was like, that was me when I hit the dab with Jeff. And I came down and I was coughing my fucking lungs out. And I was like... And I came back, and Jeff was like, you good, bruh? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. We came back in.
You finished the grapes at the store after you hit the dab.
No. I finished the grapes before that. I went back to the store. I got on I had like 25 minutes left before I got on. Jeff was staying in his car. I went and laid down in the break room. I went back on the register. I was like, I told my bagger, I don't remember who it was, like, get Jeff over here now. And they were like, okay. And they went and got Jeff. I was like... I'm about to throw up. And Jeff was like...
No way, you yaks?
Jeff said, go, now. And I threw up right after I left my register in my mouth. I held it. It was all the grapes. I was walking out of the building. I threw up as soon as I passed the first threshold to get out of the building because there was like a little lobby. And I was walking out the last time. I threw up again in my mouth. And there was a fuck ton of midnight grapes all in my mouth. I couldn't breathe. I walked around the little propane tank thing and I spat them all out. This nigga came over. I'm an EMT. Are you okay? I was like, get off me. Go away. 2 days later, guess who had to clean them up? No bullshit.
I had no idea what it was either because he hadn't told me.
I told him.
No, I think it was the next day, probably.
I told him years later. Jake was the one that had to clean that shit up,
No,
dude.
you literally told me when I fucking... like the next time we worked together, I was like, dude, I cleaned up this like massive like purple pile of shit outside, and you were like,
That's foul.
Because whenever we worked together...
That shit was crazy. Like, I didn't even think it was vomit. I was like, what's this purple shit?
It was
like,
literally 3 throw-ups. So, like, if you've thrown up in the toilet, like, when you're drunk, like, a full one of those, but times 3, my nigga.
It was like a pot.
All in my mouth of just the midnight grapes. Because I ate so many of them.
It was like a pile, like, almost the whole size of this table.
Dude, and I ate the Sausalito turkey and the pepper jack sub after that. So that's so crazy that there was no bread at all, nigga.
No, it was just purple.
That was my first time hitting a dab. Dude.
But I remember one time me and Jacob, we doorbell, we fucking, not, what's it called, Dine and Dash fucking Atlantis at the... all-you-can-eat sushi. It's a fucking scam, man. Atlantis, Sky Terrace Sushi is a fucking scam. That place tries to jip you at every fucking corner, bro. I swear to God. We go there like... Dude, they don't want to give you food. Like, they don't want you to order food. I swear to God. Like, the waiters are, like, annoyed. Like, it's, like, the worst service ever. And it's like, dude, we're trying to get... It's like, what?
You all want them more?
Like, what? We're high as fuck. We're trying to eat a bunch of unlimited sushi. We're paying $40.
Like $60. Yeah, $40.
Okay, but this is where they cheese you. The drinks are not $40. So you get a drink. Every refill... It's a $3.
They charge you for the refills, nigga.
Yeah, no, dude. It's like, dude, I got like 3 drinks. Like, what? We're like looking at this shit and like the fine print. Like, what the fuck? And so like, I go, hey, I need to go to the bathroom, right? And I was gonna eat a shit ton and just go like bulimic with it, fucking yak it out, and just like fucking get my money's worth. So I go to the bathroom. Like, oh, it's downstairs. And I'm like, the bathroom's downstairs. It's outside the restaurant. So like, I'm like. Okay, so I get up and I'm walking downstairs. I'm like, dude, I could easily just fucking dip out of here, like, and like no one.
Not just I should.
Yeah, dude, I could easily just dip out of here. Fucking text Jacob. And I just hear, hey Grant, hang a left. And I'm like, oh shit, we're doing it. Like fucking. And then, like, I see the fucking lady for the, like, the main hostess. We're like, oh, fuck. Like, they're watching us. They're like, hey. And then we just fucking, like, beeline it. Like, we're trying to, like, speed walk, but not, like, cause, like, suspicion. You know what I'm saying? And then we just, like, wrap around the casino and go to our car. Like, we were not trying to get, like, followed or nothing like that. But they were, like, that place fucking sucks. Like, what type of place, like, charges for refills? Like, that's how it is, man. That's how, I mean, you just get so used to, like, free refills. It's just kind of like, what? How can you do this to me? I mean, it's like, dig the knife, and it's like, fuck, it's a refill? I mean, you're already, like, expecting getting a drink. You're going to pay for that refill.
Dude, most people charge just like, oh, you want a Coke that's $5 or whatever. And they're like, I will get you as many Cokes as you want. But then imagine getting the bill, and they're like, oh, yeah, you know how you got, like, 4 Cokes? That's like $20. Dude, I'm leaving. You're not getting $1 now out of me because you lost my respect.
That's why every time that I go to a restaurant, I wear a suicide vest. So that if the service is bad or they try and rip me off, I can just jihad. Hasn't happened yet.
Dude, did you hear about Serena Williams? Serena Williams she's gotten $260 million over her entire career.
That's a bag.
And she said that the reason she was retiring is because of sexism. And I gotta say, I don't really know.
I get how those are correlated.
Yeah, I don't really know if you can...
Dude, I just saw that King Richard movie with Will Smith, where he, like, doing the Serena Williams. He's, like,
He's the dad, right?
Yeah, he's like half retarded kind of through the film, but he's like
He was there in the Oscars too.
yeah, but he was like dude, honestly, it was a good ass movie. Like he was just like didn't really dive into Serena much. It was mostly about Venus, but it was,
Really?
yeah, it was mostly about Venus, and but yeah, no, it was pretty interesting. It was just like how he like, dude, he gets beat up in the movie a lot, low key too. Like in the beginning, gets beat up a lot.
I'd love to watch him get his ass whooped.
Dude, yeah, Will Smith deserves that.
Yeah, no, tough about Will Smith.
Do you think that was really like what happened to Venus and Serena's dad, or do you think that was movie shit? That was kind of like just to make it more entertaining.
You know what? Probably is a little. I mean, it happened enough where it definitely happened.
It had to have happened at least
because there's
once.
like they're in Compton. And it's like a bunch of. It's always like they can't afford to play at a club or whatever. They're not in clubs. They have to play at these like courts at the park, and it's hella ghetto. You know what I'm saying? They're always getting like something's happened. Like maybe they like flirt with like because there's like 5 sisters. And then maybe they flirt with like I forget the name. Her name was like Toto or some shit. But they're like saying shit, and then he like steps up for his daughter, and then he gets his ass like beat.
Dude, have you seen No Country for Old Men?
Yeah.
Dude, out of 10, rate that movie.
Dude, that's a pretty good movie.
Out of 10, though. And Jake, I want to hear your answer too.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while.
Nigga, that's a 10.
You think that's a 10?
I mean, that's my favorite movie, so I'm definitely biased. But oh my god, you know the first time I saw that movie,
9.5.
I saw that with Lily.
Really?
Dennis was there too, but
Who's Lily?
there, this hot girl that had like really.
Girl. She gave me this tattoo.
What?
Yeah.
When'd you get that?
Like May.
What the fuck? That's sick.
Stand up and show the camera, Jake. Nuka-Cola, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nuka-Cola Quantum.
So basically, Lily is this really hot white girl that we knew,
Fuck, it's good.
and she was like, just randomly, she was like, "I want to show you this movie," and I was like, "Okay, I'll watch." And she showed me No Country for Old Men, and we watched like all 2 hours and like 14 minutes or however much there was of it, but it was amazing. It was the best movie I've ever seen. I watched it like 3 times the next day, and I've showed that to everybody. But dude, that is my favorite movie. That's the best villain of all time, Antoine Chigurh. You have a play on that for something that we're not going to mention because it's private. I'll tell you later, Grant.
It's a good movie, but like honestly, like obviously it's not. Like in my favor that much because I don't really remember too much of it. It wasn't that memory, but I mean, I honestly like, bro, the chemo. I feel like I forgot like a lot of shit. To be honest, like
Really?
I feel like I remember my dad was like talking to me about like the new Top Gun movie, right? And I saw it. And then he was like talking. He's like, well, yeah, you know, the ending was like it was different. It wasn't like and I was like, yeah. I don't remember. I was like, wait, I just saw that movie. And I was like, I don't remember the ending. And I was like, wait a minute, I really don't remember much of the movie at all. Like, I was thinking that. I was like, dude, what's going on? I was like, what's going on? Like, I couldn't, I feel like it just, like, blipped. Like, that movie was just, like, a blip. Like, I remember, I don't remember.
That's just because it was Top Gun.
Top Gun sucks. Well,
no, I didn't like. No, dude. Obviously,
Tom
yeah,
Cruise
obviously
is a
wasn't
fact.
that memorable. I thought the acting was a little corny. Like, dude, that bitch in the movie. Did you see it?
no.
Oh, okay. Well, there's this obviously like older like bartender who's like bad. Who's like basically like, okay, this girl's gonna fuck Tom Cruise, right? And like, dude, she's just like, bro, she's just trying to be like, ooh, like, we're gonna fuck, like, the whole movie. Like, every scene with her, it's like, okay.
Do they fuck?
Huh? Yeah, they probably do. Like, they end up together at the end of the movie. It's like, dude, it's just like the whole time she's just trying to get fucked. It's like okay, like, we get it. But, yeah, that's mainly what I remember from the movie. It's like cheesy acting and, like, that bitch trying to get fucked. But I don't remember really what happened.
Tom Cruise is a Scientology nigga, is he not?
Yeah, he's a Scientologist.
Grant knows a little bit about Scientology. Grant remembers, I did a podcast about maybe a year and like a couple months ago, and there was supposed to be 2 of them. I actually had one where I had my AirPod in and my dreads actually hit it a little bit, and I went to the Church of Scientology here in Reno. Well, we're in Sparks, but over in Reno, and I actually went into the church and had the guy. I did a whole podcast that was like a 45-minute podcast before that was like explaining, okay, this is what Scientology is. Whenever you go in, this is what they say. And I did a two-parter, and because I'm retarded, somehow during the first recording I stopped it, but I got like an hour and a half of the entire thing exactly as I said it was going to be. Like, oh, I'm going to go take the e-reader test, and I'm going to take these 2 metal cans that are connected to strings, and he's going to tell me these exact words, like, oh, was there this thing in your past that made you upset? And like, I explained the whole thing, but I only got the first half. Grant, I remember, was telling me, he's like, oh yeah, dude, like whenever the Mormons come to my house, my dad like hella talks to them and shit. And like
Mormons are like Jehovah's Witnesses.
Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons are the main 2 that come. Scientologists really only look for rich people. But Grant was telling me, he's like, oh dude, my dad hates Scientology, and telling me about it because he's like, I watched that. But
my dad just like, he's super into like cults and stuff, and just like Mormons, and like his favorite, like you ever heard of the Book of Mormon where they just make fun of it? Yeah, that's like my dad's like favorite.
The play, right?
Yeah, that's like my dad's. Yeah, it's on the Broadway show, but that's like my dad's favorite shit. Like he's always wanted to like go like see that live. Like, but he's like also, it's not like the original guys too, so he's like fuck. Like he just watches it. Like he's super into like like L. Ron Hubbard, like Scientology. He's like it's like a bunch of bullshit. It was just for tax evasion reasons. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So there was a thing that he created. L. Ron Hubbard created for tax purposes. He created Scientology. It was a huge hit. He actually wrote a book called Dianetics, which was like basically describing this whole thing called Thetans, which it didn't get into that too much. It was described. This is Scientology light we're gonna go into. I don't have enough time to describe it. Maybe I'll do that by myself. But he made a lot of money and was very successful off of selling Dianetics. But then he was like, dude, I owe a lot of money in taxes. How could I get out of this? Well, in international waters, you don't owe taxes. So he moved out into the ocean and bought this boat, and he made this thing called the Sea Organization. And the Sea Organization was the Scientologists of the Scientologists. Like, we think Scientology is crazy. The Scientologists think that the fucking Sea Organization is crazy. And those niggas lived on a boat with L. Ron Hubbard, and they signed a billion-year contract with him because they thought they're going to live a billion years as Scientologists to go out and spread Xenu's message to make them infinite. And there's a whole thing. But they're like, we signed this billion-year contract for like $5 at the end, and like, we're gonna do, like, they're gonna get a toothbrush, and like, if L. Ron Hubbard says I need this floor cleaned in front of me, they're gonna take a toothbrush, and they're gonna be like 14 niggas on the floor with fucking Fabuloso and toothbrushes scrubbing it in front of him to where he doesn't walk on dirty floors. And they all went out there.
My mom uses Fabuloso, yeah.
My mom does as well. Your mom's Mexican?
You know, yeah.
Nigga, yeah. But fucking L. Ron Hubbard has those niggas doing like all that slave work for the Sea Organization, and like his the leader of the L. Ron Hubbard's dead. The leader of the Scientology now is named David Miscavige. He got them tax-free status with the government, and so he's their leader. And his dad, Ron Miscavige, actually left this place in Hemet, California, because like he was in like a work camp, and he was like playing piano and whatever and teaching people that shit. But Scientology is fucking nuts, nigga. There is nothing good that comes out of that. But if you're a Christian and you want to get out of Christianity, you should go to Scientology. That would be pretty cool for you. Dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a money pit. But my dad's super into, dude, he loves like arguing with the Jehovah's Witnesses, like, and he'll be like, where does it, like, all this shit, just like questioning like the Bible, and they always say, well, we'll talk to our leaders and get back to you, and it's like, they're never gonna get back to him. But no, but like I used to go to school in Galt, and there's a big Jehovah's Witness and like Mormon church there for some reason.
Combined or like separate?
No, separate, but like there's like a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses and there's a lot of Mormons. But it's just like it's just like a weird mix, because it's like a bunch of immigrants, like from Mexico, like a bunch of Mexican kids who are they're like not learning. They're like, they know Spanish and they're learning English. They kind of have an accent. And then that's what kind of Galt is. And then it's like redneck kids, and like those of them were like Mormon or whatever. A lot of weirdly, a lot of the Mexicans are Jehovah's Witnesses. But and so it's like it was kind of weird, like going going to school in Galt, because it's like half Mexican, like kids who speak Spanish, and it's like half white, and like I'm like this white kid who like speaks Spanish, like who's just kind of like, oh, like I didn't really like fit into the mold, but it was like, you know, a lot of people thought, like, a lot of people see it's kind of like racist, but like, bro, like you see like a person like who's white or whatever, and they speak another language, you think that's pretty like oh, that's cool, like good for you, that's gonna help you. But you see some Mexican kid who speaks Spanish, like, who gives a shit?
Get out of here, Cholo. Go fucking do my lawn work.
No, it's just like who gives a fuck? Like, white people don't care about that. Like, but if you're white and you speak Spanish, it's like, wow. It's like, oh, that's gonna help you. Like, so I've been getting those conversations like my whole life. Like, it's funny being in Galt, like, because we go to the supermarket. We call it Los Chinos because there's a Chinese takeout shop. It's like the only fucking Asian people can go, and they work in this Chinese takeout spot in this Mexican supermarket, and I swear to God, it's like the best Chinese takeout food. They must be pumping that bitch with MSG or some shit, because that's like the best chow mein I've ever had, even like anywhere.
Wait, hold up, Grant, real quick. Do you remember the Chinese restaurant that Wasabi in the Walmart Supercenter? Like,
it was a Japanese restaurant.
Okay, well, apparently their rice, they kept it in like the same thing as like I forgot what it was. It was really disgusting. They were like washing their rice in the back of the restaurant in like some bucket. But sorry, keep going. So like,
what? And then no, but they had like the best, like, it was like the best Chinese food. I still like crave that Chinese food. And it's like this little like Chinese takeout shop in like this Mexican supermarket, and like me and my mom had a lot of moments in there. Like, we'd be walking in there, and like only Mexican people shop here, and it's like, and Mexican people, like, you know, they talk shit like in Spanish or whatever, and then like
does your mom look Mexican?
No, my mom's a white lady, blue eyes, and she like people will literally like, what the fuck are they doing in here? Like talking shit in Spanish, and like me and my mom like necesitas leche, or like ¿cuáles trazas necesitas? Or like we'd be talking in Spanish and like just look over at them, and they just get so embarrassed
because they're like, oh, these people speak Spanish.
They're like, fuck. That shit happened. That shit happened so much to me in Galt, because so many people speak Spanish.
They can't tell that you speak Spanish.
Yeah, so many people speak Spanish in Galt, like Mexican people, but they just like talk shit on white people all the time, because they just think you're just like a rural like white kid, you know what I'm saying? That's how Galt is. So like I had a lot of those moments like growing up, especially like, it's funny because like my mom is like the ELD teacher at like one of the schools, where like she teaches, like, because there's so many Mexican kids in Galt, even like kids who like don't even speak English, and they go to school, and they like so she has to like there has to be like a teacher that speaks Spanish and is like trying to teach them through school and teach them English, you know what I'm saying? Like, so she was like the lady, and like people always like knew my
she's teaching every single like different social studies, math. And
No. But she's like the, like, they don't go to English. They go to
she's
her.
there. She's helping them.
Yeah, they go to her. Like, and they have to take other classes and like test them, like, to make sure they're even, like, because they're not on par with their like English language ability, you know what I'm saying? Like,
of course.
So like my mom was like always that teacher, and people always knew that. So like I got away with so much shit as a kid. I got in trouble like all the time, but really I never got into too much like heat, because
they fucked with your mom.
Not because they fucked with my mom. My mom, basically they would just tell my mom. And my mom, like, I remember one time, like, fucking, like, my mom's, like, talking to my dad. He got caught cheating on a test. And it's, like, in the other room, and I'm playing my DS. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just like, what? Like, she knew about that? But, like, my mom would never, like, bring it up to me. Or the teachers always be like, come on, Grant, like, I know your mom. Like, I'd always be like,
was your mom the disciplinarian, and your dad was kind of like the one that just loved on you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like that, but my parents really never, like...
Was there a difference between the two, or did they do kind of a balance?
Me and my mom would get in fights as a kid, right? like we get in arguments over just
everybody did with
it's
their
just
mom.
like arguments with my mom, but they never like, dude, honestly, like they never really like disciplined me. Like I remember I never got grounded. I never I got grounded like once. Like they just kind of like I got caught smoking weed. They were just like, they wouldn't talk about it, but they would just be like, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember one time walking in, I was fucking high as fuck, and then I was just like at the I was like my dad was like, oh, I was like telling him I was watching a movie at my boy Steiny's house, and he's like, hey, what he's like, I was like, oh, what movie did you want? I was like, oh, what's that one movie, bro? Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I think like, okay, it's like Jesse Eisenberg, but like he's not like, you know what I'm saying? And then like, what's that movie? And then he's like, no, but I know what I smell. And I'd be like, opening the fridge, like, it's like,
nigga, you have the gas in the fridge?
No, I'd just be looking in the fridge like, I'm high as fuck. Like, what do you mean? What else am I supposed to do? And then I'm opening the fridge. It's like, I know what I smell. I'm just like, oh, that's not me. And I just close that shit, go upstairs. Like, I'm gonna go to my room. like, I never really and then like it just wasn't brought up again. You know what I'm saying? So I like my mom. I remember one time like walking in, I'm like walking in, bro. Okay, and I was like, dude, I was just like, I looked like I was like Asian or some shit. Like I could not even, like, my eyes were so squinted and I reeked. And I'm walking in and my mom's like, oh, you're bad. It's like, oh, you have any sis? And I'm like, I'm hella tired.
Was that the first time you went home smoking?
Huh? Oh no, I got caught so many times. Like, just like, my parents were like, he's getting good grades, who gives a shit? Type parents, right? He's getting good grades. But see, I was faking my report cards, so like I was getting horrible. I was getting horrible grades. I was like, dude, like a lot of time it was a struggle. So like my freshman year, like they were really on me like my first semester because I
what are those fucking coordinates?
I brought bad grades, right? I brought bad grades, and they were like,
what year was this? Because you said
this is my freshman year of high school. I failed some classes. I had to go to summer school, right? And so
was that the time that you decided whenever you brought bad grades and your parents are mad at you? Was that the time that you decided like, fuck this, I'm just gonna bring home good grades every time now?
Well, no, I started faking them.
No, I'm saying, like, I know you faked them, but, like, did you decide you were going to fake them in 9th grade at the beginning? Or was it, like, whenever your parents got mad?
I fucked up. Dude, in 8th grade, I went to Galt's shitty school district. I fucked off, like, didn't even do my work. Like, who gives a shit? I'm going to high school. None of these grades matter. I was just like, fuck it. Like, whatever. Like, I don't give a fuck. And then, I go to fucking St. Mary's. Like, honestly, that shit's tough. It's like a fucking college preparatory school. Like, it's like, you know, it's like a good workload, you know what I'm saying? And I guess I was just like, what the fuck? I'm not doing this. Like, I'm actually doing homework. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. You good, Nate?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, but actually, like, doing homework, like, just wasn't me. Like, I never did that in middle school. If I didn't copy it, I just didn't turn it in. So that was just my attitude in high school too, right? And like, if I didn't do it in the first 5 minutes of class, like right before, I just wasn't getting turned in. And so, I was doing that. I was doing that freshman year of high school, and then like I did bad in classes, so I had to go to summer school. My parents were fucking pissed. Like, they were really getting on me. They were like, maybe you shouldn't even be going to St. Mary's. Like, they'd always, like, well, I live by this, like, fucking Bear Creek, some fucking ghetto-ass high school, like I live...
How far was that from Lincoln?
Huh?
How far was that from Lincoln?
Probably, like, 9 minutes from Lincoln. But it's some fucking ghetto high school I live right next to. And, they'd always be like, oh, I'll send you to Bear Creek. I'll send, like, we're about to send you to Bear Creek. Just like, fuck. I was like, okay. So I started doing the inspect element, for like photoshopping that shit, basically. Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, printing it out, stashing the report cards, like going in the. I found a copy of my dad's mail key. So that's also how I was. So I used to sell a bunch of vapes and buy them wholesale offline. And like
what vape were you selling? Were you selling the Stizzies or were you selling the?
No, I was.
What
selling,
was the other vape? The first one that came out, the flavored
Stizzy
one.
is a dab pen. We're talking. We're talking about. No,
Yeah, you're right.
We're not talking about disposables. We're talking about. Well, I was selling Soren drops, Soren airs, and see, this was like
right after the Jewel. What was that one called? It started with an N.
It's probably different. There's so many different vapes.
No, dude, B-Man had one.
Oh, and Infinex. Infinex.
Damn, dude, I can't remember vape names because I just...
Yeah. Well,
I was on the Juuls before that. In Georgia, it was like Juuls. It was like there was a couple of kids that did vaping like with the mods, and then it was Juuls, and everybody loved Juuls. And then it was Enjoys. Do you remember Enjoys?
Yeah, I remember Enjoys.
And then it was
not many people had them though.
And okay, so it was for us Enjoys, and then what were the ones that were the sticks that were the same size as the Juul, but they'd be the color of the one you wanted, and everybody loved the green one. Puff bars.
Yeah, Puff bars, but those are disposables.
And then there were the Puff Pluses. Do you remember the Puff Pluses?
Yeah.
That's where I found out about those in college, and then I found out about them here because you and like True and then would have them.
Well, so see, this is what happened is like we were at the height of vaping, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just getting popular, just getting super popular. So I bought all these Soren Airs, and then like I have Jack's brother like I bought all these like Soren Airs, and like I would just sell these vapes, right? I would get them wholesale off the website and like ship them to my house. I had the key to the mailbox, so I could take anything to my house, and then I would just like sell them to people like hella marked up. But this is where I was really making the money. It's okay. They need juice, right? They need pods. $10 a fill up. $10 cost me $15 for a bottle.
What bottle were you using, if you remember?
No, I had a bunch of flavors. I was diverse. I wasn't.
You bring hella juice to school?
I bring like 4 juices, and then I go to the bathroom, and my Jack's little brother Ben would be like, "Okay, he needs a refill. Give me like $10."
Was Ben putting you on with all the young people that couldn't afford? They weren't old enough to get vapes, so you were filling up theirs.
Well, everyone. No, you don't get it. Everyone.
Because in our senior year, vapes were 21. Like, in our...
Yeah, they changed it once we moved here.
Yeah.
No, dude. I remember. Like, it was 21. Because I was 18 in our senior year and I couldn't get them.
Below 21.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but like,
see, this is where it's different. It's like, there's this smoke shop at St. Mary's that's like, you could walk there in 2 minutes. Right, and it's my boy Wogdon. He actually moved and opened the shop by my house. But
that sounds like Bogdan.
Dude, I've been going to Wogdon since I was like so young. Like, and like I would just
get 2 years old getting
no, bro. I remember one time I walked in there. It was like a couple years ago. He was like, Because damn, bro, when you walked in here, you were like this tall, and now you're like this tall. Like I was going in there like fucking 5'3", like fucking hella short. He was fucking dude. He was always like plugging me on vapes, giving me deals, and I would just like sell them at school, like make a little check, like. You know, like that's what I was. And then, but then, like people kind of caught on to it, like later near the end, and I couldn't really do it anymore. But for a while, people were stupid. Like really, like didn't like you could like they would just buy like they would just like $10 for a refill on a pod is nothing. Like that lasts you like what? That would last me like fucking like.
If you don't have a bottle though, Grant, because I'm speaking from a nigga that liked vapes a lot and didn't ever buy a bottle. You don't have a bottle. $10 for a pot is not a terrible deal. Like, because it's $20 for a pack of 4. But, like, whenever you can't get them yourself, that automatically at least doubles the price. And then you want to get more pods. And so, like, you'd be like, oh, this dude's going to fill up this. He's going to fill up a pod for 10. You're like, oh, usually I have to pay 20 for the pack of 4. And, like, even though it's only 1, you're happy to get that 1.
I mean, I guess that's people's thought process.
That was mine, at least.
But I think people were just naive a little bit. But
chicks just fiending.
I know, for real.
It was mainly dudes. I mean, chicks hit them for sure at like parties, but it was mainly dudes that owned them. From my memory in Camden, what about you guys? Was it mainly dudes or chicks that owned the like the vapes?
Honestly, everybody.
Really?
It was everybody in Camden too.
There was a lot. Like in our 11th grade year, there was a lot of women that owned them as well. 10th grade, I just remember Chris Goodson owning them. and Chris Goodson. I will promise on my
Chris Goodson
fucking
was the first vapor, bro.
Chris Goodson. No matter what the fuck any of you niggas say, I don't give a fuck who you are. Chris Goodson started vaping in Camden County. That was the first nigga. I remember in 10th grade, I was like, this nigga's a faggot. And then afterwards, we were all hitting him. And I was like, that nigga was ahead of his time. That's what I
had
thought.
the box mod and shit way back.
Nigga.
I had the box mods too. Those were fun.
What grade did you first hit a vape in?
Huh?
What grade did you?
I was in the 8th grade.
8th?
Yeah.
What about you, Jake?
First time I hit a vape, I was probably like 17.
Nigga, me
16
too.
maybe.
Like 10th grade, like 11th grade.
I feel like I smoked weed before I ever hit a vape.
Yeah, me too.
No, I smoked weed in the 8th grade, but I didn't get high.
My first time smoking weed was spring break 10th grade with Joe Smith and Walter Wright.
Nice.
Not Walter White, Mr. Walter Wright.
I don't even remember when I started smoking weed. One day I was just like, I smoke weed all the time now. Like what? I don't know. Like I just like
First time I ever smoked weed was with Logan and Kai.
Do you think you can get addicted to smoking weed? All of us have smoked a lot of weed, by the way.
Of course, I'm addicted to weed.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I've been going through this fucking chemo shit. Honestly, weed was one of the only things that gave me relief.
We should explain that. What specific cancer do you have that has you gone through chemo?
I got Hodgkin's lymphoma, stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's a type of blood cancer.
Blood cancer? I thought that was like an armpit cancer, nigga.
Yeah, armpit cancer. No, it's a
Wait, are you? I don't want to like bring emotions too much into this.
I'm not emotional about it.
But like, what's the chances of you like getting through it?
Oh, like I'm dead for sure. No, dude, I'm pretty much over it. I've done my chemo. I've responded to this shit well. Like honestly, there's like an 80% chance this shit works, and if it doesn't, then there's like hella. I'm pretty sure there's like other shit you could do. Like it's just like you don't want to. Like in 8 weeks we see like if it comes back, but I don't think it'll come back. I just like as soon as I got my first treatment, like all the symptoms of my cancer went away, like immediately after. So I was like, okay. But that's fire. Yeah, it was definitely like, it's definitely been the worst time of my life. But you do get cancer. You do have the fucking Breaking Bad moments where you're like fucking sweating or some shit. You go in the fucking bathroom.
Wait, let me ask real quick. Whenever you first, like, the first time you knew for a fact, maybe it was on like a sheet of paper that the doctors handed you, or maybe the doctor literally told you, the first time you knew you had cancer, what was the first thought that went through your mind? Like, was it one of like despair of like, fuck?
No, I had the symptoms and I kind of guessed it about a year before my diagnosis. I told the doctors I had this. I literally had all the symptoms on Google, but like, don't look up your symptoms. They wouldn't believe me. They said, I think you just have pneumonia, and then be like, oh, what keeps coming back? You're probably just prone to pneumonia. Eventually it's probably just autoimmune disease. And I'm like, are you sure? And then like, eventually I found out it was like Hodgkin's lymphoma. Fucking Dr. Rye. I've been telling this guy for fucking months now that it's Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he goes, the diagnosis came back. We don't need to do the lymph node biopsy. You have Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I was like, so I was right. I was like, I was telling you this. And he was like, yes, in this case, you were correct. I'm like, all right, bet. Thanks for telling me that, bro. Like, I've been doing your job for a fucking year. But I'm like, I was just like, whatever. Dude, I was literally like, I fucking knew it. It was kind of a relief, honestly, when I got diagnosed. Because, like, bro, I was fucking right. Like, I was on the money. I'm waking up, night sweats and shit. Like, I'm fucking, I got night sweats. Like, when I drink alcohol, I get these shooting pains in my neck, like, flaming up. I had, like, no energy all the time. I was tired as fuck. I'd wake up at, like, fucking 10, like, just lay in bed till fucking 2. And then I'd go get food, I'd get Starbucks or something. But like, it was a little bit of relief. You definitely, like, have, like, some movie moments where, like, you fucking walk in, like, you're like, like, you're coughing your lungs out, and you, like like splash some water on your face, you like cough in the sink, there's like blood splat, and you're like, coughing up blood, and you like look in the mirror and you're like, what's wrong with me? Like, what's going on? It's like you just fucking like rinse that shit off and like go back, you know, like whatever, like fuck it, I don't know what's going on. But like it's definitely like and chemo is like, man, chemo sucks, bro. Like I fucking like that shit's so like such a hassle. It's like really just like just such a draining activity, you know what I'm saying? You're like, bro, what's going on? You're kind of out of it, and you're weak as fuck, and like, I mean, I
What's
remember
that shit like?
Huh? Well, I mean, okay, so you basically you take this pill called a Zyprexa, or in my case, I take a Zyprexa the night before. It knocks me out. I wake up, I'm fucking, or like my mom would have to wake me up because that shit knocks you the fuck out. I mean, it's not like it's like getting barred out without the pleasure, and so it's like. You're like, you really don't want to get the fuck up out of bed, but I guess it relaxes you and like takes out your nausea, and then you fucking go to chemo, and before they take a blood test like the day before and make sure your liver enzymes are good, because if they're too high you can't do it, and you go to chemo, and it's like my chemos were on Monday. You basically get called in. Bunch of old people. I was always the youngest person. There was never anyone close to my age in chemo. It's always old people.
Damn.
It was always old people, and it was like they're always just staring at me like, "Oh, what the fuck does this kid got?" But
so you were going to a cancer center, but it was like
I wasn't going to cancer. I was going to Kaiser, just the hospital.
But was it like a lot of people that were like looking at you that all had cancer? Or was it a lot of people that were just like old?
Yeah, the ones
they're
that
all
cancer.
there.
They're all there
cancer.
because of getting treated for cancer. But I mean, they were always old people. They were there was never like I think one time I saw a young person. They had to have been like early 30s still. That was like the youngest person I ever saw. Like they were mostly like in their 60s, like 70s, and like, you know, I just like you just kind of sit there. They got like these like TVs that you can bring out. I usually didn't turn it on because usually I'm just like nodding in and out like I'm on heroin or something. But like I'm just chilling in the chair, and they just stick an IV in you, and they kind of just pump you. And then there's like different colors, like one's like clear, and the one's like red, like it's like a big red like liquid, and they just pump that in your blood. And really like
juggernog.
Yeah, no, exactly. But you really just kind of like falling in and out of sleep. Like the whole time, and you're just like, you kind of feel like shit, tired. You're like kind of like, oh, like I don't want to be. If you like, you just don't want to be there. You kind of just want to go home and like sleep in an actual bed.
Yeah.
But the next few days are really what's rough, and you lose you lose muscle too. Like you're weak as fuck. Like I remember just going out after chemo, like going to the gym, like I can't even do like my same like reps, not even like close. Like it takes me like a minute to get back into it. So like, and you're just like, you just feel like shit. Like you just feel like shit for like 4 days, really, and then like it kind of dwindles off on the 5th day. But I never really I didn't really have too many side effects. It was good.
That's good.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever. I'm over that shit. I'm fucking done with that. It just gets worse. Each one got worse. That was the foul part. Each one got worse. But I mean, honestly, bro, it's not that bad. Like people, it's not terrible. It's like it's definitely like manageable. And then you get injections every day. So like, I lost my I had a Band-Aid, but I got my last
Your
injection.
track mark.
I lost. Yeah, you get like an injection in your stomach every day, and it's supposed to cause your bones to like leak white blood cells, right? And you get like these bone pains sometimes with it. Like sometimes you just feel like I just like lit a match like near your like just parts of your body, parts of your bones, like and your foot. You'd be like, ooh, it hurts for a second. You're like, oh shit. But like that's mainly it. Like that's basically what I was going through. I never really like. One time I ate a shit ton of Italian food. I was like hella high, and it was like, dude. I smoked weed. So I just smoked weed through the entire thing, like
The fucking Dago saved you. Fucking the Christopher that a Dago is a
slur for Italians.
Yeah, exactly. It's like calling a black person a nigger, except for it's a little bit less intense. But yeah, that's about the same thing. Like,
no, I ate a bunch of Italian food and I threw up. But that was the one time I threw up. I smoked a bunch of weed and I ate a bunch of Italian food at this like place called Da Vinci's, which is like this takeout spot in Stockton. But dude, I remember one time. It was like a fire goes off during one of my chemos, like in the hospital. Like some starts like burning down, and like they had to evacuate everyone, but we're all strapped to all of us are like strapped to like these bags and like shit. Like we can't just like turn it off. It's going ring, ring. So they like literally like pushed us out, like shoveled us out into the street, and like we're in these like fat ass recliners, like just in this middle of the street, like getting our chemo done outside of Kaiser when they're like taking care of some shit. It was so weird. Definitely was like, what the fuck?
You're
like
just
there's people like driving by, just like, what the fuck's going on?
all these hospital niggas are just out in the street.
I know, like bunch of zombies, like in these chairs. No, but dude, I'm glad to be fucking over that shit. Like that shit's so fucking. It's like so fucking. It's just like a hassle, bro. Like I remember I got cancer. I was like, bro, it's so cringe. Like,
what was the first thought that you had though when you had it? Like, were you said you knew it for like a little bit? Were you more disappointed, or were you just like, all right, let's get over this shit? Whenever you first, like, the doctor called your parents, or the doctor called you, and they were like,
call my parents. They call me.
Whenever you first heard like Hodgkin's lymphoma, what was the first thought that went through your mind?
Well, I've been Googling the symptoms, and I've already known about this disease for about a year, and I fucking thought I had it. I just had a feeling. I remember one time, I was starting in sweats. It was back when I lived at Tallis, and I remember one time, dude, I kept waking up in night sweats and shit, right? And I was over at Subway, or not Subway, Porta Subs, fucking Reno Subway, basically. And I was like, I was in the car, and I just like, I almost felt like crying, because I was like, I fucking know I have this, and no one's listening to me.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, I was literally like fucking, like, just like, what the fuck? Like, I know I fucking have this. Like, I just had a feeling. And then I just kind of like, they stick you on steroids, right? So that's what they fucked me over. This is why I got stage 4, and they kind of fucked me. So it's like spread to my lung, so I got a tumor on my lung that's kind of shaved off now, I think. But it's, when you, they thought it was pneumonia, and so they gave me steroids to fix it, and that would subside the symptoms for a while of my cancer, like for a minute, like a couple weeks, you know what I'm saying? Or like a month or a month and a half.
Oh, see, it works.
Yeah, like, see, it works. Like, oh, okay. But then it comes back, and what happens when you give someone corticosteroids on cancer, not only does the cancer come back, it comes back stronger.
Damn.
So that's literally, they fucked me over. If they would have listened to me, I would have had to do chemo for probably 3 months. And I would have been over it. Right? I would have had, like I would have had to go through.
That's ass cheeks.
Yeah, dude, it was foul. Like, cause the rheumatologist told me, she's like, it could be, it's either an autoimmune disease or it could be cancer. And she was like saying, we can't give you steroids because if you give steroids to someone with cancer, it comes back stronger and worse. And I was like, they've done that twice to me. What the fuck? And she's like, oh, well, yeah, if you have cancer, it's not good. I'm like, okay. Fucking a week and a half later, I got diagnosed. It's like, bro, I fucking knew it. And it's like, it was just like, what the fuck? But whatever. I mean, that's just how it is.
I actually got trolled by doctors.
No, I know. But, and I mean, luckily Hodgkin's lymphoma is like fucking diet cancer, and it's actually pretty curable.
Diet, nice.
Nice. It's actually pretty curable. So like, you know, thank God, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, really it hasn't been that long. I mean, I've been dealing with this for what, like 6 months? 6 months
at least.
Yeah, 6 months, and it's like fucking like almost over with. Like, I'm fucking like ready to get back. Like, dude, like this feels kind of surreal. Like I'm back in Reno, and it's just like, what? Like, dude, I have not been here in so long. Like, I haven't seen your face or your face in so long. It's like, what? it's like I've just been like my whole reality, literally in Stockton, was just like hanging out with my boy Steiny and Jonah, or whatever, his younger brother, and like we just like we wake up, hit the gym, right, and then we go back to his house and we just like kind of just smoke weed all day. Like pretty much, literally, that's and during my chemo days, just dude, like I fucking thank God to like Steiny's mom. I ate dinner so many times at her house, like I fucking it was like we were kind of living lavish, like honestly, like I was just,
Nice.
I had a good like autistic routine, you know what I'm saying? Like wake up, gym, smoke bowls, like I'd be like watch fucking YouTube with them. And like smoke more bowls, and then
Sounds
eat
like the
dinner.
best
Eat dinner
routine.
there. They always be like, "Granny, my mom was asking if you want to eat food here," and I'd be like, "Yeah, gas ass food."
Get some nourishment, my nigga.
Yo, like she's always making the best shit. She even made yesterday. I had my last meal there. She's like, "What do you want like for anything?" And I chose. I was like, "Ooh, I think I'm feeling some ribs." And also, I had to limit my foods. I was like, I want ribs. Asparagus and mac and cheese.
So your piss can smell weird.
Asparagus makes your piss shit. Dude, asparagus is we have Stockton is known for its asparagus too. We have the
Really?
asparagus festival every year. Dude, the thing about Stockton is it's a what's it called? It's such a like
Disgusting city.
no, but it's an agricultural haven.
Really?
We ship our cherries
In the valley.
We ship our cherries everywhere, all over the world. Like everyone gets their cherries from Stockton area. Like we have Lodi, which is right above Stockton. Like that, everyone gets their like wine and like grapes from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Lodi's like kind of like our like Napa. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Napa wines are made with Lodi grapes.
Really?
Yeah.
They're
It's like
fakers.
it's just like something about the climate and like the soil there and shit. But I couldn't eat a lot of foods during the cancer shit too. I couldn't